Hey guys, while military members struggled to pay their rent and mortgage during this shutdown, guess who still got their full paychecks? I'm about to expose the hypocrisy that makes this Navy SEAL and veteran advocate blood boil. Guys, this government shutdown for 42, 43 days was the longest shutdown in American history. And here's the thing is, for any of you that are out there, what is the purpose of a shutdown? A shutdown is driven to affect pain on us. They are using us. We are merely political pawns in this journey. That is all it is. They are trying to affect change, the change they want, and they want to do it at our expense by placing as much pain as possible on the American people. Because as things start to shut down in the government, it starts to impact all of us. In this case, guys, all across, my sister works in the United States government and she does some amazing things. My sister is a leader. She does incredible things. But guess what? When the shutdown had occurred, she was furloughed. She wasn't able to go to work and she didn't get a paycheck. Boom! So how is my sister and her husband having to take care of themselves? Well, guess what? They had to pull into their savings and they had to do things to make sure they continue to pay the mortgage and pay their bills while our government continued to try and affect pain, which is what they're trying to do. They want you to voice so loud to your politicians, this isn't fair, that hopefully they'll get what they want. In this case, it was the Democrats who wanted, obviously, the subsidies. Don't get me wrong, there are people out there. Every one of us has problems, but guess what? It shouldn't be done at the expense of the American people. Who it made a big impact on was my military service members and veterans, guys. Those individuals who didn't get their paychecks because the government was shut down. But what a lot of people don't think about is the ripple effect that starts to occur, guys. We all saw it. SNAP benefits, individuals who were not able to get the food service. So many of the people in this country live in poverty and they're living paycheck to paycheck. There are actually people in the military. You know, the military at our lowest levels. I remember back when I was an E1, guys. When I first came in the military, I still remember how much money I got paid. I got paid $800 a month. And I remember as an 18-year-old kid, I was like, this is so much money. And I went out and I bought that Tom Cruise motorcycle. I thought I was Tom Cruise, man. I thought I was going to be Top Gun here in Virginia Beach. October, I showed up, never ridden a motorcycle in my life. Sunrise Auto, shame on you guys. They're still there, by the way. They're not allowed to do this anymore. I signed that contract. They were like, oh, absolutely, Seaman Recruit Redmond. You got a $800 a month paycheck? We'll take half of it at 35% interest. And I rode off the lot on that motorcycle. It's a miracle I didn't kill myself, guys. But back then, $800 a month for a young 18-year-old kid who grew up in poverty, it was a lot of money. Guys, that's so far under the poverty line. I was making less than $12,000 a year. I think poverty right now is at $24,000 or below. Individuals who are making that much money, our military members, E1, E3, E4, and they have a family, they can't make ends meet. So many of them are on SNAP. So guess what? Not only are you impacting military families who are no longer getting their paychecks, you are now impacting them because their families can't get their food. Guys, the ripple effect continues even deeper. I was with a friend of mine last week who is a reserve officer. And he was talking to me. He's like, Jay, you don't even realize what this has done. He said, I have individuals that are reaching out to me because guess what? They were supposed to retire this year. Here's something you need to understand about reserve service. Active duty service is consecutive. This guy right here, I served 21 years from September 11, 1992 to August 30th, 2013 was my military career. Our reserve members, it is accumulated time based on their when they're doing their reserve training. That gives them active duty time. They may go off and be deployed. That gives them active duty time. But all of that accumulates towards their full reserve time that then enables them to retire. Well, guess what? If you cancel the government, then all those orders get canceled. And those individuals that were using that time to retire, well, guess what? You just totally blew that out. So now, my buddy was telling me, he's got multiple people in his unit reaching out to him. They're like, hey, sir, I was planning on retiring this year, and now I'm not able to because I don't have the time. So their whole lives have been turned upside down because our politicians can't get their shit together and make our government run. You want to know who doesn't get penalized when there's a government shutdown? It's the very people who actually make the decision to shut down the government. They're still getting paid. Not only are they still getting paid, guys, all these ass clowns left DC and went home. Like, what? So here's what I propose. Here's what I'd like to see that comes out of this. Number one, guys, everybody's been talking about it for years. We need term limits. I'm tired of these career politicians that have sat in office for 30 plus years and they're just a politician. I'm over that, man. I think there should be a period of time that you serve our country, and I think there should be a limit to what that time is. Because so many of them are so focused on appealing to their constituency, they're not even focused on getting things done. They're just focused on staying in power, getting those votes. Like, we need them to come in and know you have a limited amount of time. This is why the presidency is 2 terms. God love Trump. He isn't going to get a 3rd term. The Constitution doesn't work that way. He's going to get 2 terms. And he has the ability to affect as much change as possible in that 4-year or 8-year cycle, depending on the president. It should be the same way for our congressional and Senate leaders. There should be a limited amount of time. Now, I don't know what that time is. I've talked to different people about that, what that should be. But no matter what, there should be a window. So you are focused on the long-term positive impacts for our nation, and you're not focusing on so much of, oh my God, I got to stay in power. I got to stay in office, which is what most of these people are doing. Number 2, if you shut down the United States, you have failed. We elected you to run the U.S. government. We elected you to make decisions for we the people, to make good decisions, to take care of us. When you shut down the government, you have failed. You've utterly failed as a leader, both sides of the aisle. So guess what? What I'd like to see, and I'd love for you guys to blow up your political leaders from here forward and say, I want to see a bill put forth for term limits, and B, guys, from here forward, if they shut down the government again, number 1, they still get paid. So all other government employees, all other government workers lose their pay. They don't even know if they're going to get back pay. Now, thankfully, in this shutdown, they did bring back pay. They did institute that they would get paid back. But our political leaders didn't lose their pay while they were going through it. No, most of them flew home. They were with their families, high-fiving them, knowing that their paychecks were coming in so they could pay for their rent and groceries and bills, while the rest of the government workers suffered through it. Our lowest poverty people were not able to get their SNAP benefits, while our politicians continue to go dine where they wanted to at home. So number 1, I want to see you ever shut down the government again, you lose your pay. And there is no back pay, period. You lose your pay the entire time. From the moment the government shuts down, you will not be paid again. As a matter of fact, I think you should be penalized for several months after the government shut down not to receive that pay. Number 2, you are not allowed to leave DC. You are not allowed to go home, because it's your job to figure out a compromise within the United States government between, it's our two-party system that's creating all this conflict. Guess what? It's kind of like when you would get in a fight with your brother or sister, and your parents were like, I'm gonna lock you in that room and you're not coming out of there until you guys figure this out. And we'd come out of there and we'd be bloody and bleeding, but and you'd try and get out. My mom would push me back in and she'd be like, you better figure it out. We need that too. We need them to figure it out. But guess what? You are not allowed to leave DC. Not only that, guys, here's the other thing I'd like to see. 9 to 5 every single day, 7 days a week while the government shut down, you are at your office. You're either in the congressional building, one of our buildings that are there, or you're in the Senate building from 9 to 5 every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You are there, and you're either in your office or you are in a meeting in that building figuring out ways to fix the mess that you guys have created and to turn the government back on. Guys, this is hypocrisy at the highest levels. It makes my blood boil. I want all of you to reach out to your political leaders. And number one, we need term limits. Number two, they ever shut down the government again, they lose their pay. Number three, they are not allowed to leave D.C. and they better be in their office every single day until the government turns back on. That's what I'd like to see. God bless America. Let's go.